With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
WWE wrestler The Mac.
And I'm Showtime Stevie Stamos.
Have you ever dreamed of owning your own race car and taking it out for a test drive? Well, thanks to our friends that Rent a Race Car, you can!
Visit www.rentaracecarne.com for all the details on how you can take one of these babies out to Stafford Motor Speedway. We'll see you at the races.
Touchdown!
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Vidane TV. Race number 7 here for the Showtime Cup Series here at Chicagoland Speedway. Showtime Paul Strickland Jr. joining you here solo in the booth here at the Vidane TV production trailer. Just getting ready to get these drivers out on track to get some qualifying laps in. And just taking a quick look at the points here after 6 races last week at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Tim Wortman Jr. has the points lead. Preston Puryear is second. Tommy Kelly third. Caleb Levenier fourth. Check that. And fifth going to Jason Renaudin. So tight points battle here for the Showtime Cup Series and race number 7 of 30. All of the remaining of the season you'll be able to catch here every single Wednesday night on Vidane TV. So very excited to have these boys on board here with me and on board here with Vidane TV, and pretty exciting to have another race here at Chicagoland. About 3 minutes left in qualifying. There you can see the number 3 car of Kelly is currently on the top of the board. And that is definitely still a few minutes to try and knock him off. There you can see the 13 quickly boots him down into second. You can see the times going across the top of your screen there. We can actually show you a little graphic right now of where everybody is currently qualified. And mind you, these times may very well change as they still have a few minutes to qualify. A couple of drivers may very well just kind of be waiting for the end, towards the end of the run, to try and get into the show here. So again, welcome to Vidane TV. Thank you all so much for joining us here, and we're very excited to have the Showtime Cup Series on Vidane TV, and want to point out we do have the Vidane TV t-shirt tent set up outside the racetrack. You can actually check out vidane.net/shop. Get yourself a Vidane TV tank top, a sweatshirt, a couple of championship belt stickers, lots of cool merchandise in there as well. A couple of racing leagues that we threw some t-shirts in there, and a couple of Angry Tree Guy shirts as well. A good partnership of Vidane TV, longtime sponsor from the beginning, and as well as a partner of Rent a Race Car up here in Connecticut. So lots of cool stuff to check out. Vidane.net/shop. Pick yourself up a TV, and you can actually use the promo code TANGLY for 10% off all of your purchases there. Just punch that promo code right in at checkout. So we're just taking a look here. About a minute and a half left in qualifying still. There's number 13 up front with a lap time of, let's see here, update the timing and scoring on my end, 28.947. Tommy Kelly right behind him with a 28.971. So tight times throughout the field here. Looks like there's quite a few cars that are in that 28.9 bracket. The top 6 cars. 7th place, 12, Caleb Levenier, 29.025. So blistering lap times here at Chicagoland. About a minute left in qualifying. And I am joined by my good friend, Mike James, Mike on the Rock. A little bit of Canadian flavor here for the Showtime Cup Series. Mike just got done calling the Tim's Corner Motorsports weekly racing event that you just saw here on Vidane TV. And hopped on the jet right behind me over here to Chicagoland. Mike, how we doing?
I'm sitting in quarantine, a little Canadian bacon for you tonight, but glad to join you here, Paul. What an awesome night we got. We started off with a great night with the TCM, and great to be here for the Showtime Series.
Absolutely, and one of the cool things about the Showtime Cup Series that we've got here, Mike, these guys run NASCAR paint schemes and NASCAR teams. So you'll see the 3-car. He runs for Richard Childress, and you'll see the Penske cars, the Hendrick cars. So a lot of cool different throwback paint schemes, if you will. But everybody running NASCAR Cup teams, so it's pretty cool to follow along. Got a tight little points battle up front for heading into race number 7 here, and I believe I shot you over the notes of driver roster with some tidbits on some of the drivers. We're still getting to know some of these guys. They just signed on with us a few weeks ago here at Vidane TV, so bear with us if we mess up a name just a little bit. A couple of unique names here, a couple of unique dialects. So we're gonna do our best to introduce these guys to you, and they're gonna do their best to introduce us to them. So really excited here, taking a look through the field. You can see everybody's lined up. The timing and scoring is going to take a lap or two to get taken care of. It'll happen when we pull double-doubles here out of Vidane TV. But, man, I'm excited here. Big wide track, 1.5-mile track here at Chicagoland Speedway. Pace car is going to take these drivers lined up 2 by 2. And you can see the number 13 is down on the bottom side. He's going to take the pole, and the number 3 car of Tommy Kelly outside. Tommy Kelly doing a great job in the point standings. Tommy Kelly is currently 3rd right now behind Preston Puryear and Tim Wortman Jr. So pretty stacked field. A lot of the guys, drivers that are up front here. You can see Tommy Kelly in that number 3 Tracker Boats car, Richard Childress Racing. He's actually from Mooresville, North Carolina, so pretty cool to see that. And you can see the 13 there. Preston Puryear, also a good second place in points. He's got a win as well. He's another RCR Richard Childress Racing teammate. He's from Trinity, Texas. So these boys all over the place down south, and the racing is really good. We've had a lot of green flag racing here the past couple of weeks here.
Well, exciting to see as they pace them around. Lights are out on that pace car. We're going to get a big night here in Chicagoland, and it's going to be the 13 with the hammer with the 3 to the outside. Lots of room here in Chicago. Going to be an exciting time here, Paul.
Absolutely. And if you wanted to follow along at home, you can actually check out our live scoring, vidane.net/web timing, and that'll give you everything we're looking at. It'll let you know where your favorite driver's running, and you'll be able to follow along right on your cell phone. But the green flag has dropped. We are underway here at Chicagoland. There you see the number 13, Preston Puryear, with the hole shot. Gets a little bit of a lead there on his teammate, the Richard Childress teammate of Tommy Kelly in the 3. Falls right into his tired tracks, and it's going to be 2 by 2 behind them.
Yeah, the 2 is going to stay to the high side here as we get some tandem action here in the mid-pack as they battle out throughout the start here. Beautiful start here for the 13 machine of Puryear. Unbelievable here on lap number 1.
There you can see a couple of drivers already shooting down on that apron. There's no yellow line or anything like that, so the apron isn't out of bounds, but it looks like caution out on the speedway. 74, Jason Renaudin pointed in the wrong direction. Started mid-pack there in 14th and is currently being scored in the 27th position, so gives us a real quick opportunity. That's the flavor of the night here, Mike. It seems like lap 1 on all of these events tonight. We got a quick little caution.
Well, hopefully it doesn't breed more cautions, but we got one car on pit road, the 66 machine, Kenny Capola. But as we see here, the 74 and the 88 getting a little wild ride here.
Yeah, big shot from the 1 car. It's Dalton Hallbaker coming in, and man, that front of that race car looks like a modified at this point, so that's a tough break. You can see a lot of black smoke coming out from underneath that car, so that car may very well be toast. So a tough break for some of the drivers about mid-pack here.
Any resets in this series?
You know, that's a good question. It's one of those things that's written somewhere in my notes, and it probably got scattered in with some other notes. So we'll give it 5 or 10 laps, and we'll see how the 1 car's running.
Maybe Paul Allen could assist us on that one, but yeah, hopefully they got a reset on that because that has been tagged. Got a couple more cars on pit road. Jason Renowden in the 74, Ed Boyles Jr. in the 88, also checking in on pit road and getting some damage repairs from that early caution here as we count down a few caution laps here before we get going again.
You can see the flash bulbs going off there out in the fans. Virtual fans here at the virtual racetrack, but we don't have to explain that to you with the pandemic and everything going on with all the COVID restrictions. Hopefully the 2021 racing season treats us a little bit better. I know up here in Stafford we're looking like we're going to be opening on schedule, but 35% capacity, and we've got the big Vidane Racing Championship night at Stafford Motor Speedway on June 11th. It's a Friday night. We're actually going to be racing. Two of our champions are going to be racing in that street stock race, courtesy of Rent a Race Car. Jared Bolliard, last year's champion, and a champion still to be determined here on Saturday nights of Vidane TV. But going to be bringing the championship-style belts and going to be hanging out. And the night after that, that's Saturday, the inaugural race for Tony Stewart and Ray Evernham's SRX Series is going to be racing at Stafford Speedway. So you can bet we're going to be hanging out and freaking out and grilling out and drinking out. So definitely, if you're in the area, be sure to stop on by Stafford Speedway and say hello.
I don't think there's one driver out there that's excited about 2021. I know big news from where I'm from up here in Newfoundland, Labrador, Canada. We've got a NASCAR home track, part of the Advanced Auto Parts NASCAR Series. We're super stoked to get back to the track side. Had a short little season at the tail to get things going, but every one of these drivers, I'm sure, are ready to get back to trackside in 2021, and I believe this year is going to be an historical one for the record books. But the lights are out on the pace car here. That Mustang's going to bring them around one more time here as the 13 gets set to get the hammer here with the 3 to the outside. That is Tommy Kelly to the outside. We'll see what transpires here as the pace car will be exiting here just in a moment, and the 13 will get the shot.
RCR teammates there, 1 and 2, and there you can see a couple of Penske cars, the 2 and the 12, up in the top 6. Want to give a quick shout out to everybody watching along at home. Use hashtag VidaneTV to join the conversation. We got folks in the Facebook chat, folks in the YouTube chat, and there's even some folks over there in the Twitch chat. So, hello everybody. Let us know where you're watching from, who you're pulling for, and who you want to win this race. And who knows, maybe we'll try and give out a T-shirt later on here tonight. But there you see Preston Perrier in the number 13, another great start. Tommy Kelly, his teammate, the number 3 car, is going to tuck right in behind him. There you can see the number 2 of Patrick McClendon, Penske driver from Texas. He's going to be running a couple of different Brad Keselowski paint schemes throughout the season, so pretty cool to see that. And 4th, you can see Dave Dothway in the number 23. That's the Gaunt Brothers racing machine. And he's a contract manager and a corporate programmer. He's been sim racing since 2002.
Big resume there on that machine, but a little bit of calamity in about the 8th position there as they go 3 wide there just momentarily as the 12 car tries to tuck in there. Caleb Levener has got the bottom here, but now all the way up to top, almost cuts off the 77 machine of Jonathan Coombs. Could have been a wild one, but now the 24 hard charging right now. Wade Palmer on the move.
You know, that's one of my most favorite paint schemes I've seen in a very long time, that 24. I should stop talking about him. The old throwback to the rainbow paint scheme. Grew up a Rainbow Warrior Jeff Gordon fan, so when Exalta released that paint scheme with Hendrick Motorsports, I was pretty excited. It's a good-looking paint scheme there for Wade Palmer the 5th.
Yeah, some beautiful cars here tonight as 7 laps completed. The 48 machine up on the top side. That's Michael Miller. In the 48, the Jimmy Johnson colors. Alley Financial on the hood here with the 24 still fighting that car. I'm not quite sure if he's happy with the setup right now. The 24 now going to possibly lose a position on the 48 as the 48 machine, Michael Miller, gets cleanly past the 24. And a little wobbly there for the 24, Wade Palmer, as he fights that machine.
Yeah, and it's easy to follow along at home. These drivers that are running these NASCAR paint schemes, they're all on the same team here in the Showtime Cup Series League as well. So the 24 and the 48 teammates, and that's probably why you saw the 24 back up just a skosh to let that 48 car in.
Yeah, some partnerships going on right now, and trying to get together here to gain some momentum here now, but lots of activity up front. The 9 machine of Matt Mackin now getting passed by a couple of cars here as he's to the high line here as they drop below the bottom here and using every inch of this track surface here in Chicago to make it interesting here in the early parts of this 100-lap main here for Showtime.
Yeah, it almost seems like some of the Hendrick cars are just kind of backing up just a little bit. Well, one car that's making his move forward there, you can see the number 22 Penske machine, sponsored by Menards. That's the boss man, the league official, Marshall Layton. You see a little bit of smoke coming out of the number 12 car, but no harm, no foul. Marshall's sponsored by Butt Kicker and Simnut Racing Sims, a Penske driver from Rainbow City, Alabama. And he's closing in on this pack. He's going to try and pick his way through it, see if he can move his way up towards the front. Currently running right outside that top 10.
Matt Mackin trying to fight there on the outside and trying to get up on the 12 machine. That's Caleb Levener. But he's going to fall off here in the 77 machine. Jonathan Coombs now comes on as a hard charger right now on the bottom. But a bit of a wild ride right here for this position as the 7th to 9th, 10th fighting it out for this position right now.
Yeah, great battle for 7th on back. And you can really start to see as the tires start to wear down here, Mike, the lines start to shift and change just a little bit. Some guys are running up towards the top. Some guys are running right down on the apron. And, well, some guys like the 12 car there are kind of running somewhere in the middle.
Well, here at Chicago, 100 laps on the board, tires probably can become a factor at some point. We've already seen 6 cars check in with pit road early on the race, so not quite sure how they're going to factor out and with pit road as we get through this, but hopefully we get a good green flag stretch and the strategies change throughout the course of this evening here at Showtime.
Absolutely. We're taking a look right now. The new leader, the number 19 machine, that's Rural Hall, North Carolina's Trevor Absher, and the number 19 moved his way up into the lead, got around the number 13 and the 3. The RCR teammates currently running 2 and 3. So, new leader of the 5-hour energy machine. It's a Martin Truex paint scheme.
I'm a big Truex fan, so hopefully he throws down here tonight for the Joe Gibbs Racing team. But one to keep an eye on is that 31 of Pete Pelini. He's looking strong here in the 4th position as he's gotten around that Patrick McLennan tube machine and now trying to come up through. But we got the 96 off the pace right now. That's Joshua Nolan to the bottom here. Could be checking in with pit road as we have a caution here on lap 15.
Yeah, we're going to pull up the Raise Energy instant replay and see if we can find out just what went down there with the number 96 machine. It looks like he just kind of lost it just a little bit. You can see he's running up. Aha, he had a little bit of help. 77 got up into the wall, the International Harvester machine, and unfortunately nowhere for that Peacock machine to go. Good-looking paint scheme there. It's flat black with some rainbow colors down on the bottom. Such a good-looking paint scheme. I'm kind of digging that. But a tough break for the 96. Wasn't that big of a hit, so there's not a lot of damage on that car and didn't lose a lap. So good news there, and we're taking a quick peek of the 33 starters so far. We still have 31 drivers in this race, and there's going to be 29 drivers on the lead lap once the 18 of Jimmy Absher gets the wave around.
Yeah, a couple have checked in on pit road repairing damage in the early parts here. The 88, unfortunately, had that early caution. Ed Boyles Jr. now down 12 laps still on pit road. But now we're seeing quite a bit of activity on pit road. Wayne Bowen in the 11, Alonzo King, the 47, Tim Wharton. Now we're seeing quite a few. They're all heading down pit road. So strategy at the early parts of this race in lap number 16 as a bit of fuel and looking like the pit times, some tires being picked up here on pit road.
Yeah, and we've seen these guys have some long green flag runs in the past couple of weeks here on Wednesday nights here for the Showtime Cup Series. So really, you want to get down pit road as quickly as you can and sometimes as often as you can early on to try and get yourself set up for the end of the race. And tire wear definitely a factor here on some of these bigger tracks. But again, want to give everybody a shout out for watching here on Facebook and YouTube here on Vidane TV. Give us a quick little shout. Let us know where you're watching from. And if you're watching on the big screen, snap off a picture, post it on social media. Join the conversation with hashtag Vidane TV.
join the conversation. And some swag out there, Paul. Some beautiful Vidane TV new swag. You got a 10% discount now for some of the fans at home. I believe the code is Tangley.
Tangley, Tangley, I think. Give it a couple of shots, and one of them's bound to be correct.
You should get an extra 10% if you spell it correctly. But yeah, a bit of activity on pit road here in the early parts. So the tail of the field with a bit of fresh rubber here could play a factor here in the early parts as our leaders swinging it around here. Preston Perrier. I can't even say that. That doesn't work in the Irish language. Tommy Kelly, your top two.
Pete Polini third, and Patrick McLendon fourth. David Dothway in fifth. Jonathan Koob sixth. Chris Spear, haven't talked about him too much tonight. The number 7 car, matching his position. Marshall Layton moved himself up to 8th. Matt Mackin up to 9th. And Michael Miller in that 10th position. The couple of Hendrick cars, a trifecta of Hendrick cars there, 9th through 11th.
I'm going to try that again. It's Preston Purier.
I think that sounds about right.
Purier. Yeah.
Purier.
I don't know. It doesn't work with the Newfoundland tongue, but we'll call him Purier. But Purier. The 13 machine. Sorry for butchering your name, my buddy. But good luck here tonight as our leader, the 13 machine in the Geico. Out front here, all throughout the beginning of this race, he did lose the lead there just slightly. But with this caution, some activity now. It's a bit of a shuffle for our top 10.
Yeah, it looks like the 19 car dipped on down to pit road to get service to that machine. He relinquished the lead back to the RCR teammates that are going to be 1 and 2 here. So it's going to be probably a little bit of teamwork going on up front. You can see the 31 there as well. That's another Richard Childress Racing entry. So some teammates up front and a couple of Penske cars in there as well. So going to be very interesting to see there. You can see the number 22 of Marshall Layton kind of working his way into the top 10, currently in 8th position. So it's going to be good to kind of see these guys come through.
Well, lights are out on the Mustang. The pace car will be exiting here just momentarily as he comes around the back stretch into 3 and 4. It's going to be Preston Purier, the 13 machine with the hammer here to get things started. Maybe see a big, long green stretch here, but the rubber may play a factor as we've seen quite a few drivers from 15th all the way back have reported to pit road. This could be a wild first half of this race.
iRacing Mustang pace car making that hard left-hand turn. We're going to stand here. We're going to wait. Nope, just kidding. Green flag. Whole shot goes to the number 13. Great restart, and you can hear these cars kind of working their way through the gears, trying to get themselves up to speed, and there goes the 31 up into that second position with ease. Pete Polini moving into P2.
Pete Polini timed that perfectly and took full advantage over the 3 car of Tommy Kelly. But we've got a tandem line here, the top 4 here, the 2 machine. And Patrick McLennan now joining the top 4, and everybody working together here and getting it going here on lap number 19 as now the Pete Polini in the 31 machine drops to the bottom. He's going to vie for the lead now with the 13 high to the outside, and look at this, the 3 drops down. He's going to give some assistance to the 31, and that's going to upset the balance here as Preston Purier drops back a couple of spots, but he fights on the top side.
Trying to get a little bit of TV time up front. You can see 31 currently the leader, moves himself into that winning position. Tommy Kelly moves into second, and 3 wide for second briefly. The 2 car thinks a little bit better of it, backs up just a little bit. But you can see that 31 car using every last bit of that apron down low. Not an out of bounds here. It's not a super speedway race, so you can pretty much drive anywhere as long as you can hold on to it.
Yeah, it's been a bit interesting to see the different lines that they've been trying out earlier on in this race. You know, the 31 taking full advantage of the apron right here, but it's working for them. But this is going to change throughout the evening as the grip gets a little bit more heavier on the high side here, as we see a lot of the cars now testing different lines throughout the track here. But the 2 machine, like we said, Patrick McLennan looking good in the top 4. He's on the inside with Tommy Kelly. This is the big mix-up here from the start of this restart here. Preston Purier moving back to the 4th position.
Yeah, there's one driver moving into the top 10 we haven't mentioned at all, the number 21 of Sean Stamper from Gadsden, Alabama, sponsored by Wrangler and Menards. And you can see he's running the number 21 machine. He's running for Penske, and he's actually a carpenter. He's a Georgia Bulldog as well, so go Dogs. I know Alyssa's out there watching on the Twitch stream, so she'll get excited over that. But 3 wide in front of him here. You can see Marshall Layton really wants to kind of move up. He sat in 8th position for a little bit, took a quick little breather under that last caution, but he's going to try and force his way up even closer to that top 5.
Yeah, 2 wide here as they fight it out for that 5th position. And 6th, David Duthwatt and Chris Spear going at it back there. The 22 machine of Marshall Layton now into the picture, now to the top side as he works the top line here, looking for some extra grip, and he finds it and pulls away. Now the crossover. What a beautiful move from the 22 machine as he drops to the bottom on the 23.
Heads up driving out of the number 22, gets that position with ease, slides himself into the 6th position. He's going to have a little bit of clean racetrack in front of him. Whoa, everybody going down to the apron. Holy moly.
Hang on to it as the 23 dropped with him. Big block there from the 23 has seen the hard charge to the bottom, and could have been the wrong way, but manages to hang on. The 23 now separation, but bit of a few battles now in the backside. Sean Stamper, Tim Wortman Jr., and the 48 machine Michael Miller going at it now. He's got the bit of the bologna in the middle of the sandwich here as we go 3 wide. The Tim Wortman Jr. to the bottom here, looking like the bottom's working here as we get to the quarter point of this race. 26 laps completed, and the 0-0 machine making it work on the bottom.
Yeah, it's definitely working. You're able to gain a lot of time down there on the apron, but you really got to watch where you're driving as you re-enter the racing track, because there's usually cars pretty much all over the place. We're seeing as these tires wear out, the different lines are starting to pick back up, and Tim Wortman's trying to get closer to the front. He's leading the points right now. He's got 2 wins in the series so far in the first 6 races, so he's trying to get that Sim Seats 0-0 up towards the front even further. Moving his way, just got into the 9th position, got around the number 96 of Joshua Nolan.
We talked about the 21 machine, Sean Stamper. He looks like a man on the move right now as he tries to maintain that composure in front of the 48 of Michael Miller. They are going to go at it here just as the 48 tries to reel him in here, but looks like 2 different lines that we're seeing from both machines.
You can see those Hendrick teammates kind of paired up just a little bit going around the track. Alonzo King there in the NOS Energy Drink at number 47. Cool looking paint scheme there. Got the number kind of set back towards the back of the car. There you can see the Busch car, number 4. We haven't talked about Pete Woodrum all night long. He's doing pretty well. Moved himself up into the 16th position. It's a green flame Busch Light car. It's a Busch Light Apple maybe?
I'm liking it. It's making me thirsty.
Yeah, definitely getting thirsty. I could go for a nice cold Busch.
We'll check in on the 19 machine of Trevor Absher, who had the lead earlier on, but checked in on pit road as he kind of half cars right now on the 47 of Alonzo King. Trying to size it up here, looking for any bit of grip here. But as we see a bit of smoke flow in front of him, the 19 checks up just a little bit behind that 47. But it's a wild night here in Chicago. A lot of 3 wide action. A lot of battles throughout the whole field of 31 cars. You got Colin Zimmer now on pit road. He's down 20 laps at this point. Tim Ingram, the 17 machine, down a lap. If he stays there and we get a caution, he will be the lucky recipient of the lucky dog. But he's going to have to maintain that position as we keep going green here. 30 laps, a bit of a green flag stretch here, Paul. This hopefully will continue here, and we see how the tire wear makes out.
Yeah, you'll be able to see these drivers check different lanes as we've seen a little bit of experimentation go on throughout the night. Everybody's pretty much, I don't want to call it single file, because you can see the 4 car getting down low, and around the 24 car seems to be backing up just a little bit as Stamper and the number 21 is going to try and take that position away from the 24 as well to move him back 1. But it seems like everybody's just kind of biding their time right now, seeing where the cars are strong. Up front, still the 31, Pete Polini, leading his teammate, Tommy Kelly, in the number 3 ride. They've kind of pulled away just a little bit. They've got about a second and a half over third place, the number 2 car, Patrick McClendon. There you can see Preston Courier right there, side by side for position number 4 with Jonathan Coombs.
Yeah, only 1/8 of a second between our leaders, Pete Polini and Tommy Kelly, as they battle it out. But we're having a peak right now on the 13 of Preston Courier. To the outside, he's got a lot of momentum to the bottom of the 77 of Jonathan Coombs, but you see a bit of a shift here in the position of the 22 and the 0, kind of sliding over all over the place here now, crossing over to the bottom, crossing over to the top, trying to play peekaboo right now with our 3rd and 4th position.
Yeah, you can see the 22 machine of Marshall Layton, the big boss man over here, the league official, league owner, trying to figure out which draft's going to be a little bit faster, really working the draft, and has kind of methodically worked his way up through the field, up into this 6th position. So doing a great job so far, side by side with the points leader, Tim Wortman Jr. there in the 00.
I think at this point, 34 completed, you kind of got to figure out if you're going to save a bit here, because this green flag stretch could go along. But now the 22 is off the pace, and it looks like he'll check in with pit road. Strategy in play for the 22 machine as he enters pit road and gives up that battle of peekaboo with Tim Wortman Jr.
Yeah, we can see a couple of other cars dipping on down to pit road. You got to wonder if these are scheduled stops. I would assume so. Didn't look like there was any kind of damage, and definitely up to speed in that 22 machine. So may very well be trying to do a little bit of short pit action to see if that'll work into his favor and hope for a green flag run.
One of my favorite things about NASCAR, when strategy comes into play in these long races, 100 laps on the board for tonight, sometimes it can bite you in the butt, but we'll see how it plays out for those teams. The 22, Marshall Layton still on pit road. You see Kenny Capola, Matt Mackin now heading down pit road, Sean Stamper, and Ken Illert and Colin Zimmer on pit road right now.
Dipping down to get service, and you got to wonder if that's going to force the hand of everybody else, because you got to know you're going to lose a little bit of time on the older tires here. So it'll be interesting to see how many more laps these leaders run before coming down. They've got 37 laps on these tires. Tim Wortman came down under that one of those cautions there, so he's only got 20 laps on his tires, but everybody else pretty much in the top 10, top 15, still on the original tires of the race. And here they come, the teammates up front. They're going to shoot down to the apron. They're going to come down pit road.
Yeah, Pete Polini's going to give up the lead here hitting up pit road. Oh, he hit the corner and then got tagged from Tommy Kelly. That is going to be a big upset for the 31 machine, as that is going to be a game changer for that machine.
Dozen or so cars coming down pit road here. Green flag pit stops, always fun to see. Gives the leader currently over to the number 77 machine, Jonathan Coombs. He's going to slow himself down, get on that apron. He's going to get down into pit road as well. Looks like he's going to bring the 7 cars. Chris Spears is going to slow down as well. The black and blue car right behind him. So that's going to hand the points leader the race lead to Tim Wortman Jr. We made mention he's got a little bit fresher tires, so he's going to stay out probably for a few laps. And you can see the 12 car, Caleb Levener, right behind him in that Penske Dodge. He's going to be running second. Pete Woodrum in that Busch car, fourth. Third, check that, Alonzo King in the 47 NASCAR, running in the running in the 4th position, and Trevor Absher in the number 19 5 Hour Energy. He's going to be in the 5th spot currently.
Looking at Tim Wortman Chevrolet, the looks like he only took a 14-second stop earlier on, so didn't pick up 4 tires. So, that is going to be effective for Tim Wortman Jr., our leader, the 00 machine up front. You're looking at the pit times here throughout. A lot of 14 seconds fast, quick stops here under the green flag pit stops.
And that's exactly what you need. And you can see the 00 using that apron, trying to get everything that he can. But that 12 car's coming. It seems like he's closing in a little by little each lap. Currently 0.5 seconds. Drop it down to 0.337. So that 12th machine of Levener closing in on our leader, the race leader and the points leader, Tim Wortman Jr.
Well, both leaders up front, both checking into pit road earlier on, and Caleb Livener looking pretty smooth here. Doesn't want to use up too much of it right now, as we got a nice green flag run here. 41 laps completed here for Showtime Cup Series. But our leader, Tim Wortman Jr., not a lot of pressure right now, and a lot of clean air as he comes up on some lap traffic as he works his way through. But this is as he gets around now, I believe that is the 19 machine. Or
So
14.
Got around the 14 machine of Derek Cook. But Derek Cook got the fresher tires, so he's a little bit quicker than the 00. And we saw the leader come around and pass the 88, Ed Boyles Jr., who currently 13, check that, 16 laps down. So tough night for him so far. There you can see the 18 locking him up, coming down pit road. That's going to be Jimmy Absher. Going to give up a top 10 position, come down and get some service on that machine. And you can see pretty much almost cycled through. There's maybe 7 cars on the lead lap still that have yet to pit. And you got to wonder, that's got to be coming soon. You can see the 3 car getting around the 47 so much quicker with those fresher tires. That 3 car is currently 8th place, 1 lap down, the first car a lap down, but with those fresher tires, Mike, he's just so much quicker than these guys that are still staying out.
Yeah, this standings is going to flip-flop throughout this evening here with 44 gone, but Tommy Kelly will be the first to get back on the lead lap, but Kelly in the 3 looking sharp out there with the fresh tires, but the 0-0 looking at the times, almost between Tommy and Kelly, about 9/10 of a second, actually. So there's a huge gap right now on our leader, Tim Wortman Jr. Last lap, 30.9, and Tommy Kelly, fast car machine, 30 flat right now. But Patrick McLennan threw down the fastest lap out of the last one, and the 2 machine on just under the 30 mark at 29.8. So. You're seeing that fresher rubber being a major factor here now, so keep an eye on that 2 machine has been throwing down some pretty quick laps here.
Looks like he's the 2nd or 3rd car in a line that has taken tires, and the 3 car just a little bit slower. The 19 car down on pit road, Trevor Absner, he's going to take that thing and get some tires on it. 14.3 second stop, and he is away. Still the 00 up front, though. Wortman Jr. holding on to that lead, and looks like the 2nd place driver is pitted as well. So Pete Woodrum inherits the 2nd place spot. He's 6 seconds back, but he's got actually no, he doesn't have fresher tires. He's 6 seconds back. Seems like he's losing the handling a little bit on that race car, kind of falling back just a little bit. 3rd place John Tuddy in the number 41. Haven't mentioned his name all night. The Stuart Haas entry there. You can see getting passed by a lot of drivers that have the fresher tires, so he's hoping for a quick caution here.
12 machine Cable 11 are still on pit road as he works away. He's going to work enter the track service once again, but gave up that top 6 position and now working back into the field. But our leader, Tim Wortman Jr., like you said, he's got a 6.5 second gap on our 2nd place, 4th car number 4, Pete Woodrum. But eventually, Tim Wortman Jr. is going to have to check into pit road as we see Pete Woodrum, the 4 machine, now checking in, and he's going to give up that 2nd position to John Tuddy.
You can see the 2nd position there, John Tuddy, a little bit off the pace. Looks like he may have tried to come down pit road and may have missed the entry, but we'll see what happens next time around. Tim Wortman Jr., you can see, still utilizing that apron. He's about to get passed by that number 3 machine. That 3 machine's going to be getting his lap back the hard way. That'll put him back on the lead lap, so good driving there, and that pretty much shows you exactly the example of fresher tires versus older tires. And we're going to be coming across the stripe here with halfway down, halfway to go, 50 laps into this 100-lapper here at Chicagoland Speedway.
Yeah, you can definitely tell between the tires as the 0 machine continues to stay out. Strategy definitely playing. The spotters obviously saying, and the crew chief, stay out. Hopefully a caution will come, and they'll all have to report again as we have this huge, long green flag stretch. Tim Wortman Jr., strategy right now is playing in his favor, as right now he has a 30-second gap on Tommy Kelly's 3 machine. Everybody's down a lap except for the 3 and the 00. So hopefully he can continue to stay out on these old tires, and hopefully a caution comes out. He can take full advantage of this full lap.
Yeah, Mike, that's actually second place. That was right in front of, just went around Tim Ortman Jr., and that's the car that he's got to worry about to race for position. So really, the longer this green flag goes, the better, the more it plays into Tim Ortman's hands. Because if he's able to really stay out, and even in the top 5, and we get another 5-10 laps, well, that throws it all out the window because he's going to come down pit road and lock those front tires up, get it down to 65 miles an hour. He's going to come down, get some service. That's going to hand the lead back over to the 3 car of Tommy Kelly, and that's going to give him the lead once again as he comes out of turn 2, heading down into 3 and 4. Pete Polini looks like he's going to be in second. Preston Purrier up to third. Patrick McGlennon up to fourth, and Jonathan Coombs up to fifth. After Tim Ortman heads down pit road, you can see getting some service done. Drops the right side, the left side of the car, and he is down and away. 15.1 on the stopwatch there. So a little bit slower time, but doesn't lose too much. Looks like he's going to pretty much gather back up in the top 10 once everything cycles through.
Well, huge advantage for the 3 machine of Tommy Kelly as he has a major gap right now on the rest of the field. This is big as he got around Tommy Kelly to get that lap back, but he's almost got a full lap on the rest of the field. And looking at the score sheet right now, the top 24 on the lead lap at this point, but big change of power right now. And Tommy Kelly holds that torch, but now we got a car into the wall. Picking up some sparks there, but we still stay green. The 96 machine is off the pace as he tagged the inside of the wall. That's Joshua Nolan as he reports the pit road with some damage.
See the 95 car of Ken Ellard as well. A little bit of damage on the right side of that car. Down on the bottom side of the track, he may come down pit road here as that gaggle of cars just got on around him. It looks like he's going to stay out and just kind of limp it around, see what he can do with it. He's a lap down. Looks like he's one position outside of the free pass recipient, so he's going to try and hold on to as much track position as he can. But out front, still the number 3 car, Tommy Kelly, his teammate, the number 31, Pete Polini, 3.9, almost 4 seconds behind him in second position. Preston Purrier third, Patrick McGlennon fourth, and Jonathan Coombs in that 5th spot.
Spotters have not been busy, not a lot of battles on the track at this point, with everybody separated and kind of cruising around, but pit road has played a major factor in this race as we are now past the halfway mark, 55 laps completed. Tommy Kelly in full control, but that gap has changed as Pete Polini now has gotten within 4 seconds here now. The 31 machine trying to rejoin the leader, Tommy Kelly, as looking at the last lap time, fairly close, within about 0.2 of a second. Pete Polini still not the fastest car on the track. Tommy Kelly full control right now.
And you can see on the track with the nice wide angle shot there, pretty spread out all the way around the racetrack. Everybody just kind of biding their time and seeing what all they've got underneath the hood and underneath the setup of those race cars, and kind of feeling the tires out just a little bit, getting them warmed up, getting them blown up and expanded without burning them down too much, because you want to try and save. We saw a lot of these guys go about 30-35 laps strong without any kind of issues. They only slowed up just a little bit. So good news there, and we'll see what kind of strategy these guys are going to be working on. It's the catbird seat right now is going to be held by the leader, Tommy Kelly. He's got no pressure behind him, no pressure in front of him, so he doesn't really have to drive that car too hard.
We're having to peek in the 41 machine of John Tuddy as he drops down below the 13 machine, or Preston Purrier, who's in third place. The 41 machine down a lap, so not a position change here as they try to maintain composure, and Preston Purrier kind of just taking it easy back there and letting them go as they got a bit of fresher tires and a little bit of extra juice in the can right now.
Yeah, you don't really want to push the issue too much, especially with everybody being as spread out as they are at this point. It's a really good opportunity to kind of hold on to your position. Try a couple of different lines. There you see the number 2 car getting right up onto the back bumper of Piermeyer. That's McClendon in the number 2 machine, Austin, Texas, Penske driver. And the 13 just kind of let him go just a little bit. He's not battling him too hard, just kind of carrying the momentum on the high side, but really trying to save some tires for the end of this long green flag run.
Yeah, the 2 machine working away. The biggest battle right now on the field. The 13 and 2 going at it. The 2 with the advantage to the bottom here. It seems like the bottom is a bit quicker here as you see the two drop to the apron here and gain a bit of momentum there coming up to the re-entering the track there. But now he's got about a half car, almost a full car now in the 13 machine. That's the 13 of Preston Purier. Fights back, but they're going back and forth, the 2 and the 13 right now. Biggest battle on the track.
And you see the low line really works on corner entry, but the high line's where you want to be when you come out of the corner. There's just so much more momentum up there, especially as the tires get worn down more and more. It just it really kind of carries the momentum of the race car. You don't have to turn the wheel as much. You can just kind of lazily turn it in and really hammer down on that throttle without having to worry about the back end of the race car spinning around on you.
One car in particular that I know likes the high side, Kyle Larson. What a 2021 he's going to have with the Hendricks Motorsports team. It'll be exciting to see the Daytona 500. I was talking to some peeps in Daytona, and everybody's getting prepped for the big show. The start of 2021, everybody's excited to get back. A big question mark, how many people will be at the Daytona 500 this year? So we'll see how everything plays out in the next month, but the two machines still battling. Got a little bit of an advantage right now on the 13 of Preston Purier. And we're seeing this bit of a peekaboo back and forth between the 2 and the 13.
A little bit further back, we can see the 77 car. That's Jonathan Coombs, just kind of biding his time by himself there in the 5th position, holding on to it nicely. And behind him, another Penske Dodge, the number 12 of Caleb Levener. Mentioned his name a couple of times here tonight. He's from Kershaw, South Carolina, one of the Penske entries here. And he's been sim racing since July of last year, so pretty cool. Late model driver down south as well, working towards driving it. The family owns the late model. He's working on driving it himself, and he's a big-time Chase Elliott and Davey Allison fan, so that's pretty cool. And back behind him, you can see a little bit of a battle between the 7 of Chris Spear and that black and blue, well, they're both black and blue cars, the 47 car of Alonzo King, holding on to that 7th position. The 7 car right behind him wants to try and get around him.
And that's one of the things I like about the iRacing. You know, you may have a super late racer out there, a late model, sometimes a U.S. legend driver. You know, in some of the series that we call, we even have kids out there in the bandos giving a run for these older guys. But the resumes are diversified throughout the field and putting on a great show. Long green flag here, really playing a factor here in strategy. You know, some of these guys are really hoping for a caution to come out, but the separation right now between all the cars is not a factor for that caution unless we get a tire go down, a car into the wall. This could go on quite some time here as we complete lap 65. We're having a peek right now on the 48 machine of Michael Miller as he has testing out the high line here and looking for some extra grip. Kind of probably sizing up here as maybe with the caution coming out, we'll get everybody closely packed together and try to pick out where you want to be as the track surface is continuously changing as the grip changes. A lot of rubber being thrown down here at Chicagoland as we get past through the 66 lap. 44 to go here, Paul.
Yeah, Mike, and one of the opportunities that we get here with these long green flag runs, we can kind of go through the field and kind of learn the names and backstories of some of these drivers that we might not be able to get to do under caution. But we can see Mike Miller here, the 48 Hendrick Motorsports entry. It's Temple Terrace, Florida is where he resides. He's actually a Chevy service writer in real life, so you got to wonder if that's going to transfer over to the iRacing world. He's running a Chevy right now, and you can see Tim Wortman Jr., points leader, in the 10th position, holding on to it. Whole list of sponsors there: Sim Seats, Boss Hoss Cycles, Permatex, Eagle Rock Wealth, Good Creek, Mane and Tail, and the RCR machine there, and pretty cool to just kind of go through some of these drivers and kind of get the backstories. There you can see the 24 car of Wade Palmer, another Hendrick Motorsports. So I made mention that I really like that paint scheme. He's from Mount Holly, New Jersey, so not too far from here, me here in Connecticut, a little bit in the Northeast. So definitely a diverse group here this evening. And man, you add in the commentary team, and we're just all over the East Coast.
Well, I'm the Great White North. We got a blizzard coming in, so it's Old Man Winter finally arrived up here. It's been a wild year for winter all across North America. So At one point we were warmer than Florida at one point. So, but a lot of action here. Is now we're seeing Pete Polini now enter pit road, as well as Michael Miller and Wade Palmer and Matt Mackin now reporting to pit road. And Tommy Kelly, we're having to peek him at the 3 machine as he enters. This is going to be a big shakeup here, boys.
Yes, sir. 30 laps to go. Everybody going to come down and maybe get some quick service. You see a couple of cars there off in the distance. Left side tires getting put on there. You can see a great shot there. The Captain America sign there for the number 3 car. He's going to get right sides. Is he going to get lefts? He is. He's going to stay there. 4 tires stop and fuel for the number 3 car. Leader currently scored in 9th. Down and away. Good clean pit stop. 14.6 stop on the clock, and right now it looks like he's going to be the only one off pit road. There goes the number 2 car right behind him, Patrick McClendon, the number 12, his teammate. He's going to make his way off, Caleb Levener, and a couple of more cars there getting service. But going to take a look back up front, cycling through. We've got 33 laps on these tires here for the number 13 car, Preston Purrier. Jonathan Coombs right behind him, pitted on the same lap in the 77, but that's going to hand the lead over to the 77. The 13, Preston Purrier, he's going to come down for service.
Well, you gotta play the factor. Those tires are about over a second in the difference. We're seeing some guys dropping below the 30-second mark right now. And last lap, Preston Purrier was about 31.3 seconds, so almost a second and a half sometimes is the factor here on the tires. So with 28 to go here, you gotta head down because eventually it's gonna bite you in the butt.
Absolutely. You don't want to give any excuse to lose any time. And there you can see Jonathan Coombs. He's going to come down and get service on that machine. He's going to bring the 7 of Chris Spear with him, handing the lead over to Alonzo King there in the 47 NOS energy drink machine. Going to lead a few laps, and Tim Wortman Jr. in a second position currently as we cycle through these pit stops. Second set of green flag pit stops here in this very same race. So good, clean racing here. The Showtime Cup Series guys, they're still looking, still some sponsorship opportunities available. If you're looking to sponsor or advertise with your brand or your company or your product, feel free to give us a shout on Vidane TV. Give us a message in the direct messages, the private messages there on Facebook or YouTube or Twitch or anything like that. We can get you in contact. Or you can get in touch with the league directly. Check out their Facebook page, Showtime Cup Series, and they pop right up and talk about a little bit of sponsorship advertising deal with some of these guys. Good, clean racing and good, clean fun. Pretty cool little deal as well as they run the NASCAR paint schemes.
And the Tim Wortman Jr., took the lead earlier on in this race. We're 3/4 of the way here. He's about 4 seconds behind the leader of the 47 machine of Alonzo King. But Tim Wortman Jr., looking at the tire situation right now, running 31-second lap times, about a second off the pace with our new leaders that went down pit road. So I'm just wondering, will he decide to hang it out to dry here with 25 to go here? But still within striking range. Different strategies peppered throughout this whole field. Tim Wortman was one of those lone soldiers that went down earlier on and now taking advantage in that second position. But right now with the 2 machine coming on strong, he's in the 7th position. That's Patrick McClendon now coming to the bottom. Tim Wortman's going to let him go as they cross over each other. Close quarters there, and within inches, the 2 scrubbed across the front. Oh.
Yeah, McClendon getting the lap back the hard way. That's going to put 7 cars on the lead lap as we've got the leader, the front 2 cars, the 00 of Tim Wortman and Pete Woodrum have not pitted yet. Tommy Kelly came down, one of the first drivers to come down pit road, already running 3rd, and he's 19 seconds back. So definitely in the catbird seat here. Either way, whether the caution comes out or not, because if the caution does come out, Tim Wortman's still going to have to pit for fuel and tires.
You almost want to be like NASCAR. Where's the caution button here? So we can get a green, white checker. But I don't think we're not going to see a full green run to the 100, but I might be wrong here. This is going to be a wild one for Tim Wortman Jr. as he continues to lead around here, but still maintaining about the 31-second lap time, so not falling off too much for what he's been doing the last 5 or 6 laps. But keep an eye on Tommy Kelly. That is the one to be watching. The 3 machine is coming on strong. He's got a full 2nd and a 10th about almost a second and an eighth, one and an eighth of second now. Tommy Kelly has on our leader.
Getting after that Scott Steiner math. Numbers don't lie.
That was brutal trying to get that one out. But how do you say one and an eighth?
One and an eighth. Yeah, close enough. Some kind of percentage, 33.3%. We'll figure it out later. But you can see the 3 car looking at the timing and scoring, really closing in about a second a lap. Just so much faster here than Tim Wortman on these old tires. But at this point, Wortman's in it. He wants to try and stay out, and it's really difficult to do as a driver. He's seeing all these lap cars come up behind him, and he's having to just pull over and let these guys go. And man, that's really tough to do. But he knows if he gets a caution, he's really going to hold on to some track position, and it'll end up being a good move. But still really tough to do, and you can see Tommy Kelly just in that lap alone closed up by 1.2 seconds, 15.4 seconds back currently, back to second place.
You don't want to try to say a second and an eighth?
A second and an eighth? It's just easier to one point whatever an eighth is.
Try to be Canadian building a ship in the United States when you try to convert metric to imperial. How that works out.
Looking for that 10 3/4 millimeter socket.
Yeah, just scale it up.
Put a dime in there. It makes it metric.
Well, our leader Tim Wortman seeing some lap down cars now coming around, getting back on the lead lap. We've got 8 cars right now on the lead lap. Jonathan Coombs, now Chris Spear now making it back to the lead lap. The 7 machine now getting around Tim Wortman. Alonzo King, the 47, is on the outside looking in, 1 lap down, but looking like very quick lap times as he's under the 30-second mark. But quickest car right now on the track right now is Chris Spear in that 7 machine, throwing down some quick lap times. Could he be a factor, the 7 machine of Chris Spear, in that 9th position?
Seeing a 34 car, I haven't talked about him too much, getting one of his 2 laps down. That's the 34 car of Stephen Wood and the Loves machine. And there you can see Alonso getting his lap back. That's going to put him back on the lead lap. And just looking at the timing and scoring, I don't know if Wortman's going to have enough fuel to make it to the end of the race. I could be wrong. But if the caution doesn't come out, it's going to be tight. Because like we said, we're looking at about a second a lap that Tommy's closing in on Tim here. So, oh man, with taking a look, 16 laps to go. Man, it's going to be tight.
Couple more heading down pit road. John Tuddy, the 41 machine, now reporting to pit road. He is already down a lap, so if he can manage to get out and squeeze out in front of the leader, it may be a game changer for the 41 machine as he re-enters. But we see our leader, that's going to put him down 2 laps now, as the 41 may try to fight back to get that lap back here. But lots of strategy, as we said, throughout this. Pit road has been a major factor, but here comes our leader, Tim Wortman Jr., reporting hard on the brakes, trying not to get the speeding penalty as he enters pit road. He's going to give up the lead, but that is going to be now the 3 machine, the Tommy Kelly, our current leader, and he's got gappage right now in the rest of the field, almost, I believe, over 6 seconds between second position of Pete Polini.
Yeah, his teammate back there in the 31 machine back in the second position. Tim Wortman throwing in the towel on those tires. They finally had enough, and it's tough. Definitely hard decision to try and make. You got to hope for a quick caution that comes out to, while you're out there and get everybody back on the same playing field and gain all that track position. But that's one of the gambles that you have here, especially when there's green flag pit stops. A couple of different sets, too, which is pretty cool to see. And like we made mention, these Showtime Cup Series drivers, very clean racers. They get the green flag pit stops quite often, but Tommy Kelly going to cross the stripe, or head on down to turn number 3, rather, working lap number 86 of 100, so getting into the closing bell, so to speak. Has a 5.6 second lead over second place to 31, his teammate Pete Polini. Patrick McGlendon currently running 3rd in the number 2 machine, and behind him, Preston Perrier, we saw him up front a little bit, running 4th. Jonathan Coombs in the 77, he's going to be in the 5th position.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of drop-off right now with Tommy Kelly earlier on, dropping below the 30-second mark on the lap times, now over 30 and a half. So we're seeing some tire wear right now on the 3 machine, but could that be a factor in for Tim Wortman Jr.? if the caution comes out, he will be back on the lead lap, and he'll have that fresh tires. So on a restart, and here at Chicago, lots of space, especially with what we've seen early in this race. We've seen a lot of guys testing the bottom here on the apron. So a caution here. I'm sure Tim Wortman Jr.'s crew chief is saying, come on, baby, let's see that yellow, because if this continues green, it could be all Tommy Kelly right now.
Yeah, seeing him holding the line high, wide, and handsome. Not too much pressure from the back or any pressure in the front. He's led 21 laps here tonight, and fastest lap was a 29.632 compared to his last lap of a 30.745. So a full 1.1 seconds slower than his fast lap there.
Say it, I dare you. I dare you.
1 1/8. And,
1 1/8.
And we're just looking at timing and scoring. Came down pit road 19-20 laps ago, so really burning the tires pretty quickly, and he was probably running through a lot of that lap traffic to try and get his way as close to the front as he could, while those drivers kind of held on to those positions.
Well, with 10 laps to go as the 3 machine Tommy Kelly comes up on the 6 machine. That is, I believe, Colin Zimmer. He's on 56 laps. Colin Zimmer turning some laps here now. Hopefully will not play a factor around from the 3 machine as the 3 tries to get around that 6, as I'm sure spotters are exchanging words right now, as now the 3 drops to the bottom and it's going to cleanly get around that 6. Colin Zimmer. But with 9 to go as we count them down here in Chicagoland. This has been a wild night. I'm sure the crew chiefs are a bit frustrated. Some of them have made, plays that just did not work out with them, hoping for that caution. But it's not over just yet, as we still see quite a big spread throughout the whole field. Everybody peppered out. Not a lot of too wide. No big battles on the track right now, as we're having a peek at Tommy Kelly and the 3 machine, taking it home now with 8 to go.
And the final stretch down to single digits left here, 100 laps in Chicagoland, went down pretty quick, and it does that'll happen when you got a group of clean drivers, and that's one of the things that really astounds me here, Mike, with the Showtime Cup Series. We've got 33 drivers started this race here tonight, and looking at the point standings, they've had over 50 drivers start at least one race in 6 starts. And man, we've got green flag pit stops, a couple of them throughout a few of these races that we've carried now here on Verdane TV. So pretty good group of drivers. Again, we're still looking for some sponsorship opportunities, advertising opportunities as well. If you're looking to get your brand or your logo or your product out there and advertise, reach out to us on Verdane TV, and we can put you in contact and make that happen. Because I got to tell you, the Sim Racing Group is really one of the most brand loyal group of folks you can advertise to, because they're gonna support the folks that support them. And throughout this pandemic, Sim Racing is one of the things that's kept us entertained, and it's really kept us entertained as well here at Verdane TV.
Well, that's a phenomenon that NASCAR has utilized over so many years. NASCAR fans, motorsport fans are just so loyal to their products. I mean, for instance, I've been at this for over 20 years, and I go to Costco, and my wife says, "Why are you buying Nature's Bakery Fig Newtons?" I said, "Well, Danica Patrick runs this. She's hot." So
100%. That's why I started doing
we're
yoga.
getting Nature's Bakery Fig Newtons. So, but the 3 machine is still your leader with 5 to go here. But I was hoping the 21 of Sean Stamper had something for us, but he's still at the 14th position, down a lap. He will get the lucky dog if we have the caution come out here to Stamper. We're having a peek at him in the 21. Look really strong at the early parts of this thing, but like you said, strategy throughout this whole has been a flip-flop throughout. Crew chiefs have decided when they were going to go. Some worked, some didn't. And you know who it worked for? The 3 machine of Tommy Kelly. He is your leader as we count him down as he comes around for lap 4. Laps to go here. That 3 machine, the Bass Pro Shops, taking full command of this race. Been strong right from the beginning, and strategy has played a factor for him, and it's worked out for him as we count him down.
Yeah, and he's really putting some distance between he and his teammate back there in second, Pete Polini in the 31. 7.7 seconds back as he's coming up on the number 23 of David Dothwaite, and that machine looks like it's been slam dunked there on the left front quarter panel. A lot of damage, heavy damage there on the number 23 Camry, but looks like he's going to get around no problem, lose that lap. That's going to be the position number 13. So 12 drivers on the lead lap as Tommy Kelly picking them up and putting them down here with 3 laps to go.
Everybody being a gentleman right now, but the 23 fights back to the bottom here. But Tommy Dothwaite still staying within reach of the 3 as the 3 works itself through the lap traffic here. Now drops to the bottom on the 96 machine. And will come clean through this one now as he gets down to the apron. Looking for every inch of real estate here now. Looking to pick up an 1/8 of a second or a 1/10 of a second or a 100th of a second. But you have to look at the time. Tommy Kelly's been doing 31 seconds, a little bit over 31 seconds, but he's got that 7.5 second bridge. And with 2 laps to go here, plenty of time and cool and collected right now. Tommy Kelly, your leader, going to take it home and hopefully see some white silk in the air.
3 car closing it down. Next flag is going to close out the race here. Like you said, he's got a big old cushion behind him. The 31 car 7.5 seconds back. And pretty much just has to hold on to the wheel. And you could probably hold on to it one-handed and have an ice cold beer ready in the other hand to cross that start-finish line, coming up on some lap traffic. But it's not going to matter. Tommy Kelly, the number 3 car, the Tracker Boats Bass Pro Shop machine, gonna come home victorious here at Chicagoland Speedway, and it's gonna be a little bit of time here before Pete Polini crosses home second, and these drivers kind of closing up on the start-finish line. So great race here, a bunch of green flag pit stops, and great win there for Tommy Kelly. We're gonna talk to the top 3 as quickly as we can, but man, that's a great race there, Mike.
Yeah, a lot of strategy in play for the crew chiefs here. All these teams, when to go, when to stay out, and obviously the 3 machine made everything work for them throughout this whole race. They were strong right at the beginning, and obviously the crew chief made the right move when to go down and managed to hang on to those tires. They were falling off quite fast, but long green flag stretch here. And the 3 machine of Tommy Kelly taking it home. Big win for the Bass Pro Shop team.
Yeah, Richard Childress Racing finishing 1 and 2. There you can see Pete Polini stopping right at the start-finish line to congratulate his teammate and his buddy there. Patrick McClendon in the 2 car finishes 3rd. Alonzo King 4th. Jonathan Coombs 5th. Preston Puryear, thanks for the shout-out in the YouTube chat. Puryear is how we say that last name. Knew we'd get it right eventually. He finishes 6th. 7th matches his car number. He's going to finish, Chris Spear there finishing 7th. Caleb Levener finishing 8th. Michael Miller 9th. And Matt Mackin rounding out the top 10.
Puryear, like Perrier, but pure.
Something like that. 11 through 20. There you can see Trevor Absher in the 19 car finishes 11th. Wade Palmer the 5th, last car on the lead lap. We actually heard from Wade Palmer the 4th, who started this race, had some internet issues, so he was rooting on his boy there in the number 24 machine. Solid top 12 effort there. David Dothwaite, the 23, finishes 13th. Tim Wortman Jr., the points leader, 14th. Sean Stamper, Marshall Layton, Pete Woodrum, James Kerr, John Tuddy, and Derek Cook rounding out the top 20.
Unbelievable night. Crew chiefs had their work cut out for them tonight, bud.
Oh, absolutely. And taking a look through 21st and 30th, Wood, Nolan, Coppola, Buckley, Ingram, Bowen, Ellert, Absher, Renaudin, Boyles Jr., and man, you run out of breath when you're going through all these cars. It's crazy to have 33 cars start a race and only have 1 or 2 cautions like that in 100 laps. Oh, look at that, nose-to-nose burnouts. That's cool.
Unbelievable. What a beautiful night here in Chicago. And you didn't notice how I let you go through the whole list there, eh?
Yeah, a couple of new names for us here at Vidane TV, and some of our friends up in Canada struggle with some of the southern names and vice versa. So it's always fun when we start the night up at Tim's Corner Motorsports and end the night down here in Showtime. We're talking all sorts of tangly.
tangliness. But I guess we'll have a chat with Tommy Kelly here in just a moment as they burn it down here on the turn on the front stretch here at the start-finish line as they go for some pops. But I believe we got Pete Pelini now in the room just momentarily. But unbelievable night, Paul.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to talk to the third place finisher, the number 2 of McLendon. Have you got a copy?
Gotcha.
Patrick, great race. Long green flag runs here. We had a whole bunch of green flag pit stops. It was pretty cool to see. Walk us through your race.
Yeah, we the entire Penske team, we felt like we had a pretty good setup here. We felt like we were going to be good on the long run. That's typically the way that we try and set these cars up. So we thought we'd have the opportunity to stick around the front. Obviously, the guys that finished up there and Pete and Tommy, they're fast every week. Those are guys that you're competing with week in and week out. It would be good to see somebody get Tommy here eventually, but nonetheless, felt like it was a good, clean race.
Absolutely, and we're just taking a look at the car after 100 laps here at Chicagoland. Pretty clean. Doesn't look like there's any damage on that number 2 machine, so good start. Started up in the 4th position and came home with a podium finish. Now we're just taking a look. Have you got any 2021 racing plans other than Showtime Cup Series? What have you got going on for the beginning of the year?
No, at this point, man, we're hanging around in Showtime. This has turned into a good place to be. Where I think everybody on our Penske team's happy to be in here. Marshall's definitely put on a fun, exciting league to be a part of, and I think at this point we're going to dedicate all our energy into this league.
Very cool, and definitely a good league as we're still getting accustomed to some of the drivers and some of the driver names here with Vidane TV. Been a couple of weeks, so we're running out of excuses, but definitely putting on a good show here week in and week out. And we see we got the Money Lion logo on the quarter panel of that machine. We're running through a couple of different Brad Keselowski paint schemes in that number 2 ride. Who gets it done? Anybody you want to thank? Friends, family, sponsors? Floor's all yours.
Yeah, man. Hey, I want to thank Marshall here for starting the league. Actually, Caleb for bringing me into it. He's the one who told me about it and was able to get me in here. Everybody, within the league for making it a good time, a good Wednesday night every week, and we'll see if we can keep that going.
Absolutely, and a 3rd place finish here this evening at Chicagoland, knocking over that entry cone, actually sliding it, almost hitting Marshall with it, almost bouncing it off his hood. Kind of a neat little shot there, but congratulations on a good run here tonight.
Appreciate it, guys. See you next week.
Absolutely. Mikey, down pit road a little bit further with the 2nd place finisher, teammate to the winner, Pete Pelini in the 31.
Hey, Pete, you got a copy?
10-4 about him with you.
Hey, bud, man, what a run you had tonight, man. Looked really strong at the beginning of this race. Obviously the green flag pits had played a definitely strategy for you guys. Take us through tonight and how much work the crew chief had for you tonight.
Crew chief, it's all driver on this one. That's the second
Oh,
one in a row I
baby.
gave away on pit road.
I like it.
That's even better.
I meant the other way around. That's the second win in a row I gave away on pit road. I think I had a good shot at giving Tommy some competition. But when you spin going on pit road and you lose, 7 seconds, that's not ideal. So I think this coming week, I think I'm just going to do pit stops. I'm not going to practice any laps, just pit stops after pit stops and see if we get it together here.
Well, unbelievable. My first Showtime Cup Series here, calling from all the way up here in Canada. Boy, you guys impressed me. A lot of clean racing out there, a lot of respect on the track. Going in tonight, did you feel like you had something for Tommy?
Oh, for sure. I mean, we obviously we're teammates here. We all worked on the setup here. Tommy did a good bulk of it, but he always puts together excellent setups for us to run, as you can see. But I know we definitely were, competitive-wise, we were right there. So, like you said, just a matter of pit stops, and another small mistake there cost us again, and never got a caution to recover and race it out. But strong night for RCR. Got a shout out to Tommy, obviously. Another big win. So we're gonna try and keep this train wreck moving and get another one here next week.
Well, we'll look forward to seeing you back, and congratulations from all of us. Dane TV on your podium finish. We look forward to seeing you back trackside. Any plans for 2021 besides the iRacing here, the Cup Series?
Stay alive and get as much as in as I can. We're doing a little bit of running with the Phantom Boys, obviously, that we run with here. We're doing Thursday night super late models and tour mods there with, I can't think of the name of it, series, Short Track Super League. So we're going to keep pushing that and see if we can pull a championship out of somewhere here.
Well, that'd be awesome to see. Great run from the Phantom 31 machine. Pete Bellini, congratulations, and look forward. And the floor is yours. Anybody you want to thank, sponsors, family, or anybody at home?
You guys for sure for doing a broadcast for us. Appreciate it. Great job. Phantom Esports, Outlaw Esports, Maconi Setup Shop, CGE Engineering, Martin Sports Apparel as well for supporting me this year, and happy to have everybody on board.
That's awesome. A lot of support there for the 31 machine. That's Pete Bellini, your second place finish. Congratulations from all of us.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Crossing the wall here, jumping over pit road down to victory lane. Tommy K, 69. Tommy Kelly coming home with the win. Led 17. Check that. Led a whole lot more than that. Led 34 laps of the 100 here tonight. Long green flag runs, couple of green flag pit stops, and a little bit of teamwork looked like throughout the beginning of the race. Walk us through your race.
Yeah, we did well in qualifying. Just kind of wanted to run some laps and try and stay up front, stay out of the eye of the storm. And I think we did pretty well at that. And stayed up front most of the race. Unfortunate incident with a teammate there coming into that first green flag pit stop, but could have been a lot worse. Could have taken out both of us, I guess. But seems to be our trouble point is getting on and off pit road here. But we'll get that figured out here before too long.
Absolutely, and man, it's just a great race, good and strong all night long, and really, once we got the pit stops taken care of, we could pretty much see that you were going to cycle right on through as the leader. Now, with the iRacing stuff, we're just taking a look at some of the driver notes here. You got 8 years experience driving Bandoleros and raced a late model for a year. Does any of that transfer into to iRacing for you?
Oh yeah, I mean, just driving in general will transfer over. It's mostly the same thing. You just have to get used to the physics of it. Not being able to feel the car. But that's the reason I got into iRacing when I started, was just because I was driving real cars and wanted that extra track time if I could get it.
Absolutely. Now that pretty much opens up the next question. Have you got any racing plans for 2021 other than Showtime Cup Series?
Yeah, we're gonna play around in the dirt a little bit. I'm starting to run midgets a good bit, and we got a Showtime Cup Series team gonna run the Daytona 24 too this weekend. So we got some plans in place, but keeping it fairly open at the moment.
Very cool. And third win on the season so far. Moved yourself up into second in points. So definitely consistent here in the first 7 races. Have you got anything for these guys at Martinsville next week?
I sure hope so. That's going to be a wild card one, I think. I usually really love short tracks, but I don't think I've been on Martinsville with as many cars as we've got. So we'll see how that goes. Hoping for the best.
Absolutely, and we're definitely hoping to entertain the masses, as we're going to be able to check that out here on Vidane TV Live next Wednesday night. And man, it's 7 races down. We got a whole bunch of the season to go here, and like we said, Martinsville next week. Are there anybody out there watching, friends, family, sponsors, teammates, anybody else that you'd like to thank? The floor is all yours.
Yeah, I'd like to thank my parents and my grandparents. They're all watching tonight. Thank Budget Sim Boxes, Butt Kicker, and everyone that makes this deal happen. Marshall's runs a great league. It's a lot of fun to come race with these guys, and obviously I want to thank all my teammates. We work really well together, and we've been really getting dialed in on the setups here so far this season.
Awesome. A win number 3 on the season. And doesn't seem like you've got any sign of slowing down. So we'll see you next week at Martinsville, and congratulations on a great win here at Chicagoland.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Mikey, that's going to do it here for us at Chicagoland Speedway Showtime Cup Series. Another one in the books. And, man, final thoughts here for your debut at Showtime Cup.
Well, it's an honor, Paul. We've done a lot of races over the course of the year, through different series, but this is definitely one of my favorites. A lot of great drivers, a lot of respect, and that's one thing I like to see on the track. As some of these guys were coming over on lap traffic, the respect was there, and it did cause quite a bit of a long green flag stretch, but it's always fun to see the strategies that these drivers have on pit road. So it'll be interesting to see what happens at Martinsville. With this amount of drivers, like you said, it could be a mosh pit, and Martinsville is one of my favorites. So it'll be interesting to see what happens on the next race. So great run from all the competitors, and been an honor to be here from up here with the Canadian bacon, eh?
It's all about bringing home the bacon.
That was a bit of an oxymoron from the Irish side of the Newfoundland, but
just taking a quick look at the upcoming events here. We can see double header here tonight. We have the Tim's Corner Motorsports Weekly Racing Series at Oxford, and then the Showtime Cup Series we just got wrapped up. Tomorrow night we're doing the NEPS Grand National Series. It's going to be Zany Does Japan, a Twin Montegi tomorrow night in the ARCA cars, so that's going to be entertaining to say the least. The NEPS Super Truck Series comes back Friday night. Check out their Twitter to figure out what track they will be racing at Friday night. Saturday night, we're going to be doing another doubleheader. Tim Seri from Tim's Corner Motorsports putting on a little something Saturday evening, and then late Saturday night, we've got the Sim 500 Verdane Super Speedway Series at 10:30. And then Sunday and Monday, we got some more Tim's Corner Motorsports races, still kind of penciling in the details. And then we start the week all over again. Tuesday night, the RBR Maritime Group Season 3, race number 2, and then back to Wednesday night, the Tim's Corner Motorsports Weekly Racing Series Championship and the Showtime Cup Series here at Martinsville. And you're going to be able to catch that all on Verdane TV. But for myself, Showtime Paul Strickland Jr., for my brother from another rock, I guess, Mike James on the rock, coming over to help us out here, the Showtime Cup Series. Everybody here at the Showtime Cup Series, sponsors, drivers, fans. We couldn't do this without all the fans, and we want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, all that good stuff. Be sure to like and subscribe, and tell your friends you just got entertained by some internet racing. And we love to hear from the fans, and love to entertain the masses as we do here at Verdane TV. And don't forget to pick yourself up a t-shirt or a sweatshirt at verdane.net/shop. But that's going to do it here for us tonight. We'll catch you guys tomorrow night with the NEPS Grand National Series brought to you by Shift Marketing and Design. That kicks off at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. And when we do that, we're going to be doing it live. Catch you on the flip side.
That was good.